E vamos de Julie, e vamos de Julie, e vamos de Julie and the Phantoms. E vamos de Julie, e vamos de Julie, e vamos de Julie and the Phantoms. Eu me chamo Thales e hoje, quarta-feira, né, gente? Quarta-feira é Julie and the Phantoms aqui no canal. E a gente vai estar dando continuidade, gente, ao react do documentário de MADISON Reyes. Caso você não esteja sabendo o que está acontecendo, o que está acontecendo aqui, Thales? Que documentário é isso? Gente, esse é um documentário chamado de Wake Up Your Dream, The Documentary, fan-made, né, feito por fãs da nossa maravilhosa Julie de Julie the Phantoms, que no caso é MADISON Reyes. Se você não assistiu a primeira parte, que a gente já reagiu, eu vou deixar aqui nos cards pra você barbarizar, assistir a primeira parte, e aí depois você vem pra cá pra gente poder continuar. E é isso aí. Mas antes de começar esse react de hoje, vamos chegar barbarizando o like, hein? Já curte hoje aqui esse vídeo e compartilha com os milhões que amam ver react. E também já se inscreve no canal caso você não seja inscrito e ativa o sininho para receber todas as notificações. Aqui tem vídeo novo de terça a sábado. E vamos de react! A gente terminou aqui.
This was crazy because we knew the whole time. Normally that the way it works tradition.
Ali, a gente terminou na primeira parte, né? Quando o Kenny Ortega desejou feliz quinceañera nela, pra ela, que ela fez os 15 anos de idade. E ele falando quando que foi que anunciou que ela seria a Julie da Phantoms. Esse bafão todo, aí a gente vai continuar agora.
Is, like I said, it was very untraditional. Is you're supposed to wait up to 10 days to find out if you got the role. But
okay.
We got told right then and there that we got the role. So I didn't have to go home all anxious. And we were all together, me and the boys. So it was like our moment of bonding.
Yeah.
But we couldn't tell anybody yet. So we told my mom. Obviously, you've seen the clip of me saying, "Mama, I did it," and he was like, and stuff like that. So, you know, my close family knew and stuff like that. But then we actually got to tell everybody at the quince because we've been telling them, "Oh, we haven't heard anything."
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ai, meu Deus! A gente, quanto tempo que demorou, né, pra ela receber a
Madison?
notícia
I
de
know
fato.
you have an amazing voice. When did you kind of hone in on that talent?
I started taking it seriously in 6th grade after I moved out here. It had been my 2nd year living out here, and I found out about musical theater, and I kind of just like started just trying to get my hands on anything that was kind of like affordable, because like I don't want to spend like money on like an expensive vocal coach, you know. So I was just trying to participate in like school choir and church choir, and you know I was always trying to get into those musicals. And in 7th grade, after I was actually Princess Jasmine for the school play. I took it seriously, and I auditioned for an art school out here called Arts Academy.
Olha, fez a Jasmine do Aladdin, né? Ela contou já na primeira parte que a gente assistiu, gente, que ela também fez aquela do Rei Leão, que eu esqueci o nome agora, mulher, da personagem. Que Anne Gabelli também fez já. Eu fiquei passando, olha, as artistas, viu? Você faz essa personagem, você fica milhões.
And since then, I kind of just ended up finding about this audition. So, I definitely found my passion in 6th grade, and ever since then, it just kept on growing every year.
Oh, 6th grade.
That you are also a very big High School Musical fan. I mean, who isn't? How was for
Quem
you
não é?
like the first time that you saw him and working with him now, like working closely with him,
Imagina
knowing
aí.
that he
Eu
praises
sou,
you
tá? Eu
all
sou louco por
the
High School
time.
Musical, gente.
I mean, I remember being on the phone with him just before I went out to LA. He had called me to basically kind of just like discuss a few things and tell me how this stuff was going to be, because you know it was really just this is my first time doing any of this stuff, and the fact that he reached out to kind of like give me an understanding as to what I should expect really helped. And just talking to him on the phone, like the call in general was just crazy. Like you get this idea that Kenny's just this busy person. He's so important, he doesn't have time to talk to anybody. But he like took the time out of his day to call me and explain to me how the audition process was going to work, and that I didn't have to be nervous, and that it was a safe place. And I knew that, you know, I was so excited to finally meet him, and that there were...
Pois é, o pouco que eu já vi, né, que a gente já viu aqui nos bastidores e tudo, o Kenny pareceu super acessível, né? É, super barbarizante, tá ali pra conversar e tudo. É como ela disse, a gente tem ideia de que, a pessoa super ocupada e que vai ser difícil entrar em contato. Mas ele é milhões, é claro que ele vai conversar com a gente. Ai, Kenny, olá, tudo bom? Mas eu digo assim, sabe? Com as pessoas ali que já estão no meio dele, ou então que a pessoa que tá fazendo uma audition, né? No caso, a Madison e tudo, ele barbariza, o acesso a ele, o contato com ele é fácil. Deu pra entender?
Nothing to be, I guess, like afraid of. And then finally being able to meet him, and how he was just so welcoming. You know, he gave me a hug, and You know, he said, like I said before, you know, it's just we're here for you and everybody else, and you guys just need to feel safe and comfortable, and we're just gonna have a fun time. And after I got casted, it was just an instant connection with me and the guys and him, and we became a second family. And I'm super grateful that he saw something in me. Working with him is the most amazing thing. He's the kindest person. There's never a dull moment on set, like we talk about all the time. He's always just high energy.
Olha, ó. Ei, ele é todo descontraído, palhacito. Eu amo.
On the result of the show, you know, because we can see that you guys are having fun and that you are very comfortable with each other and what you're doing. So, Ken is awesome.
Amei!
Started at the same place that I did, which is musical theater.
Yes.
But in TV shows, this is your first work, right? How was your audition? How did you heard?
I heard about the audition at school. My teacher had posted it on Google Classroom for everyone to see.
Ela contou
and it was just really up to us as the students to, you know, decide whether or not we wanted to go for it or not. It was also kind of just figuring out like if you fit the cast type, and you know, finding out that Julie was a Latin American girl, 15. We had so many things in common. I knew that I kind of just had to go for it because it just felt so right. And then after talking to a few of my like classmates and friends, they really encouraged.
Pra você ver, né? Tipo assim, quando ela foi ver, ela disse que ficou sabendo na Google Classroom, na sala de Google, né? Sala de aula de Google, uma coisa assim. Mulher, assim, não entendi muito bem como é essa sala de aula, mas dessas coisas da atualidade, né? Dormindo enquanto eu sabendo. E aí, quando ela viu, né? Sobre esse papel de Julie, ela falou, gente, sou eu. Ela se viu ali, aí disse assim, ela sentiu que era tão certo aquilo que era pra ela, e foi e barbarizou. E hoje é Julie, e é mérito, e é barbarizante.
Go for it, and I auditioned for it. It consisted of 2 scenes that you had to self-tape doing yourself, and you had to accompany yourself on the piano of a song of your choice. So I just kind of like learned all the lines and just like thought of the rest of them in my head. Kind of like having a conversation with the ghost.
With the ghost. What the series is.
And for the song, I chose She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. So that was a lot of fun. It was like kind of this first song that I had learned on the piano.
Madison, what inspired you most about Julie's story as well, since she was kind of finding her love for music again despite all of her personal hardships that she was facing?
You know, when I first got introduced to her, it was in a time that, you know, I was auditioning for things at school and I just wasn't fitting the cast type. You know, they weren't looking for, you know, a Latin girl. And, you know, you kind of just like start to realize that there's not a lot of like that diversity out there. And, you know, if I, you know, were to be, you know, going for a Latin role, it'd probably be, you know, stereotypical, you know, Latin. So when I was introduced to her and I you know, knew that her story was so real and she was normal and she didn't have to be, you know, stereotyped. That's when I really realized that I wanted to go for her even more, because I had that connection of wanting to, you know, be somebody, but not knowing if I should pursue that dream or not, because I was kind of lost at the time. So she was kind of just like a gift to me at the time as well. You know, I
foi como gift.
Up,
gift.
Piano, and I was starting to get back into music a little bit more, and I was getting close to the end of the year.
Agora, uma dúvida que eu fiquei, precisava saber tocar piano, né? Já barbariza, viu? Nem todo mundo toca piano, não, então ela barbarizou.
Finals, and I was all over the place, so, you know, it was a lot of unclear stuff, but, you know, when it all settled down, she was there, and, you know, these silhouettes of these guys, of the
silhouettes.
And then when I finally got out to LA and met the, you know, the boys and finally got paired with them, it all, you know, really.
A cara do Charlie. Agora que o Charlie deu caladinho ali, ó.
Just fell into place, and they've helped me through so much, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
Eu amo, Maddie. This is Maddie.
I love Julie's style.
Foquinha.
I love all her clothes. Do you have a favorite one?
I think my favorite thing to wear was actually during the fantasy season.
A Foquinha falou com todo mundo, né? Nine, Madison Reyes, Julie the Fan, passado, né? A Foquinha barbariza.
All the little bits and pieces that was within that costume.
Eu amo!
Eu amo essa performance. And put something new on and just have all these cool layers.
Tudo.
Was amazing, and being able to dance around that school and that stuff.
Uma coisa bem high school isso. This is high school musical. É exatamente isso, muito High School Musical, essa performance.
High School Musical fan, right?
High School Musical is actually the one thing that like influenced me to get into acting and wanted to be in a performing arts school as well. Kind of learning about that and actually finding out that there are art schools out there. I was like, what? I have to go for this now because I want to sing in the hallways.
Song is your favorite off the soundtrack?
I Got the Music. That was the it moment. I mean, like growing up, that was always my thing. Like I want to get out and start dancing in my school with the big band and just, you know, own the place like I should. So being able to kind of like really live that.
Eu acho que todo fã de High School Musical, né, já tinha um sonhozinho, uma linhagem assim, de querer estar aqui conversando na escola, barbariza, depois, buf, começa a cantar, e levanta, e vem um monte de gente, dança e barbariza. E aí, ela era assim também, Julie, né, Madison, e aí ela realizou o sonho dela, gente. Ela fez o próprio musical dela, é sobre isso.
Girl, that was your moment.
Ah, eu queria passar de musical.
Changes, the hats. Jada came in through the side to amp you up. It was your whole time. It was your moment.
Ai, foi tudo.
Like, look at these beautiful girls of color.
Yeah.
Owning this.
Barbarizou, viu? Which cast member had the best voice?
The lead singer of
Qual a pessoa do cast, né, do elenco que tem a melhor voz?
Julie in the fans, I'm gonna say it's Maddie.
Madison's got
Maddie.
Everybody in the show, 100%. Like, no denying
100.
Come on.
Olha ela.
What, 16?
Stop it.
She's absolutely crushing it.
When's your really big riff off? I think on Great Madison.
Get riff off.
When you really like start doing like that, like Alicia Keys-esque type like solo.
Yes.
And Maddie said that that's really like where you guys bonded. Do you have like any moments
from
filming season 1 that you felt like, oh my god, this was like such a bonding experience? Like whether that was like a fun moment in like your apartments while filming or on set. Does any moment like stand out to you?
Right. I do agree with Madison that particular scene did make us make our friendship like this is my best friend and like definitely brought us closer just because like it was different from our particular relationship because we are so goofy and we're all silly and stuff, and so that kind of brought us to like a serious moment. But I feel like me and Madison bonded from day one. Because even after when I literally at the chemistry read, we got each other's numbers and Snapchats.
Yeah.
And
Snapchats.
And we didn't even know I got it yet. Like we literally it was just crazy because I was like, we were already expecting each other to be friends. Like we were already like, oh, this is gonna be my friend.
Wherever this goes, we're gonna be best friends.
And then when I booked the role, she actually told me that I booked the role. She called me. Kenny called my mom. And then Kenny talked to my mom, and then he was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna have Madison tell her." And so I'm like right there. I'm like, "Tell me what."
Yeah.
And then Madison's like, "See you in Vancouver, bestie." And I'm "Oh my gosh!" And I start crying. But yeah, and I feel...
Gente, desculpe o barulho, mulher. Tá tendo obra aqui perto de casa. Ô, minha nossa senhora, essas obras voltaram pra me deixar coisa antes da cabeça. Mas espero que não esteja atrapalhando. Vai, mulher, barbarizei. Espero que não esteja atrapalhando.
Like that kind of just was like, oh my gosh. But I do feel like from our, you know, typical goofy, silly, you know, funny relationship that we have, I do feel like that scene particularly did make us closer.
Julie!
Did make us closer.
Girl, you better get back up here and you show them you can sing.
I've tried for myself. I've tried for Miss Harrison. I've tried for you. I've tried for Dad. And I've tried for Mom. For a whole year, I've been trying. But I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm done.
Julie! Julie!
Ai, o momento. Vale, gente, não tô lembrando dessa cena direito, viu? Tava tentando lembrar, não lembrei direito dessa cena.
If you guys haven't watched it, if you've watched the show but haven't seen this scene, it comes right after Julie runs out from the music room because she kind of misses her last chance to perform for her class in order to stay in the music program. And it's like, you guys channel these emotions where you're kind of like desperate at this point. You're just kind of like, we've been over this like so many times, like what is going to get you to play music? And Julie's just like at her breaking point where she's just kind of like, I'm done. I've done this too many times. Right. It is gut-wrenching and Emmy Award deserving, I think. So Emmys. Tune in.
Emmys. Jada Marie, Madison Reyes. Madison Reyes and Jada Marie. Like.
Best performance.
O M de milhões.
We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it.
Oh my God.
Gente, essa foi a nossa parte 2 aqui do documentário de Madison Reyes. Semana que vem, quarta-feira, a gente vai continuar. Vamos assistir com o documentário todos aqui juntinho, barbarizantes. Então não perca na próxima quarta-feira a parte... Não perda, falei tudo errado. Não perca, né, gente? Isso aqui nos comments. Próxima quarta-feira tem mais Julie, tem mais Julie and the Phantoms com a parte 3 do documentário de Madison Reyes. Deixa aqui nos comentários o que foi que você está achando. E vamos me seguir nas redes sociais, Instagram e Twitter, tá tudo aqui na caixa de descrição do vídeo. Beijão!